Welcome back to Demolition Worker. Today we tackle the mighty spectrum of the seas and its iconic North Star observation capsule. This towering mechanical arm features a stunning glass jewel at the top, supported by massive steel structures and complex hydraulic systems. Dismantling this engineering marvel requires absolute precision. One wrong move could shatter the expensive glass or damage the valuable hydraulic pistons. These giant hydraulic cylinders are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our mission is to recover them completely intact and functional. Before the rest of this massive cruise ship faces the crushing jaws, we must extract this delicate mechanical masterpiece with care. The North Star extends high above the ocean, offering breathtaking views. Now it faces the ultimate test of controlled demolition engineering. We begin by assessing the structural integrity of the base. Heavy marine salt has corroded some exterior bolts over the years. Our lead engineer maps out the exact cutting points. We need to separate the arm without compromising the primary lifting mechanism. Massive, heavy-duty cranes are brought into position on the main deck. They will support the incredible weight of the arm. The crane operators meticulously calibrate their lifting parameters. The tension must be perfectly balanced before any cutting torches are ignited. Workers in safety gear climb the towering structure. They attach high-strength steel cables to the designated anchor points up top. Every shackle and sling is double-checked. The sheer mass of the North Star requires our highest-rated rigging equipment today. Down at the base, specialized excavators equipped with massive hydraulic shears move into position, ready to bite through thick steel. The synchronization between the crane operators and the ground crew must be flawless. Communication is key to preventing catastrophic failure. We focus closely on the giant hydraulic pistons. These mechanical muscles once lifted thousands of passengers high above open sea. To save these pistons, technicians must carefully bleed hydraulic fluid from the lines, preventing any dangerous pressure build up inside. Thick industrial hoses are connected to the valves. Gallons of specialized hydraulic oil are safely pumped into secure containment barrels. With the fluid drained, the pressure drops to zero. The pistons are now safe to be mechanically disconnected from frame. Sparks fly as industrial grinders cut through the heavy retaining pins holding the lower hydraulic mounts to the main deck. It is a slow, grueling process. The steel used here is marine grade, designed to withstand extreme weather and stress. The first massive retaining pin is finally pulled free. The crane immediately takes up a fraction of newly transferred weight. We can hear massive steel cables groaning under the immense strain as the crane assumes control of the mechanical arm.
Hoist the beams now,
the ground
quickly.
crew moves
Watch
in
the
with
west side.
specialized thermal
Slow down,
lances.
slow down.
They must slice
Stop.
through
Hold
primary
that
base
position.
plates with extreme precision. The intense heat melts thick steel like butter. Molten metal drips down onto the protective fire blanket spread out below. As the cut deepens, the crane operator makes microscopic adjustments, ensuring the arm does not shift and bind the blade. The delicate glass capsule at the end of the arm sways slightly in the wind. We must monitor the weather constantly. A sudden gust of wind could swing the massive structure, smashing the fragile glass against the remaining superstructure of ship. Tension mounts as the final few inches of steel are severed. The North Star is now completely detached from vessel. The crane operator holds the load perfectly still. The massive arm hangs suspended in midair, a true testament to rigging. Slowly and deliberately, the crane begins to swing the enormous structure away from the ship toward the designated landing zone. The shadow of the North Star sweeps across the desolate deck of the spectrum of the seas for final time. Ground spotters use hand signals and two-way radios to guide the crane operator. Every inch of movement is calculated. Massive hydraulic pistons hang limply from the structure, safely secured by secondary straps to prevent them from swinging dangerously. As As the arm lowers, we get a closer look at the intricate mechanical joints that allowed it to rotate smoothly. These joints contain high-precision bearings. Our recovery team will extract these components later as they hold significant resale value. The landing zone has been prepared with heavy timber crates. These will cushion the impact and prevent damage to tarmac. The glass capsule touches down first. The ground crew rushes in to ensure it sits perfectly level on wooden supports. Gently, the rest of the massive steel arm is lowered onto the waiting cradles. The crane cables finally go slack. A collective sigh of relief echoes across the demolition yard. The most dangerous phase of extraction is now successfully completed. Now the meticulous disassembly begins. Workers approach the down structure like surgeons, equipped with specialized tools to extract valuable components. The first target is the glass capsules itself. The curved glass panels are custom made and incredibly expensive to replace. Technicians carefully remove the exterior trim, exposing heavy-duty waterproof seals that protected passengers from the harsh ocean environment outside. Using specialized suction cups, the team gently pries the first massive glass panel away from the rigid steel framing structure.
The concentricity of these bearings is critical.
Carry just one
We're
of these
seeing
heavy
minimal
glass
runout
panels
along this
to the
access
secure
point.
padded transport crates. With the glass safely removed, the interior framework is exposed. It looks like the skeleton of some futuristic metallic creature. Next, we turn our attention back to those giant hydraulic pistons. They are the true prize of this demolition operation. Heavy-duty impact wrenches are brought in to loosen the massive bolts securing the pistons to the main arm assembly. These bolts have been locked in place for years, requiring immense torque to finally break them free from rusted bonds. The sound of rattling metal fills the air as the heavy bolts are slowly backed out of their deep-threaded housing. A smaller forklift maneuvers into position, its forks carefully sliding under the heavy steel body of the massive hydraulic cylinder. With the final bolt removed, the forklift gently backs away, carrying the expensive piston like a precious trophy of conquest. This single hydraulic cylinder alone is worth tens of thousands of dollars on the secondary market for heavy marine equipment. The process is repeated for the remaining pistons. Each one is carefully extracted, inspected, and loaded onto a waiting flatbed truck. Our recovery operation has successfully salvaged hundreds of thousands of dollars in pristine mechanical parts from this doomed luxury cruise ship. The remaining steel skeleton of the North Star arm is now stripped of all its valuable technological components and delicate glass. It is now just a massive piece of scrap metal, ready to meet the relentless jaws of our heavy hydraulic shears. The giant excavator rumbles forward, its massive steel tracks crushing debris as it approaches the skeletal remains of the crane arm. The hydraulic shear bites into the thick steel tubing, snapping it with a loud crack that echoes across the entire shipyard. Piece by piece, the once majestic North Star is reduced to manageable chunks of scrap metal, ready for the recycling foundry. Meanwhile, back on the ship, the massive void left by the removed arm exposes the complex internal decks of the vessel. Demolition crews are already moving into this newly opened space, stripping away wiring, insulation, and interior bulkheads with ruthless industrial efficiency. The precision we used to save the North Star is now replaced by the brutal, chaotic force of standard ship breaking. Sparks rain down from the upper decks as multiple teams of torch operators simultaneously slice through the massive structural ribs. Huge sections of the upper superstructure begin to tear away, crashing down into the lower cargo holds with deafening impacts. The contrast is absolutely striking. We went from surgical extraction of delicate glass to absolute destruction of heavy marine steel. This is the reality of the demolition industry. We must constantly balance brute force with delicate precision to maximize profits. The salvaged hydraulic pistons are now arriving at our refurbishment facility, where they will be cleaned, tested, and prepared for resale. Engineers will inspect every seal and valve, ensuring these massive components still meet the strict safety standards required for future operations. It is incredibly satisfying to know that these powerful mechanical muscles will find a second life in another major engineering project. The glass panels from the observation capsule are also being carefully cataloged. They might end up in a luxury architectural build. Back at the shipyard, the spectrum of the seas is rapidly losing its recognizable shape as the demolition progresses without pause. Massive claw machines tear away the luxurious passenger cabins, revealing the twisted metal and hanging wires of the internal guts. The relentless pace of the heavy machinery is mesmerizing. It is a highly coordinated dance of destruction that never truly stops. Dust suppression systems spray fine mists of water over the wreckage, keeping the hazardous airborne particles from spreading across the yard. Mountains of sorted scrap metal continue to grow. Copper, aluminum, and high-grade steel are carefully separated to maximize recycling value. The successful extraction of the North Star arm was a massive logistical victory for our entire specialized marine demolition crew today. It proves that even the most complex and delicate structures can be safely recovered if you have the right engineering expertise. As the sun begins to set over the demolition yard, the skeletal remains of the cruise ship cast long, eerie shadows. The heavy machinery finally powers down for the night. The deafening roar of diesel engines is replaced by a strange silence. Tomorrow, the destruction will resume. But tonight, we celebrate the safe and profitable recovery of the most iconic engineering feature. Every demolition project teaches us something new. The North Star required us to invent entirely new rigging techniques on the fly. The experience gained here will be invaluable when we tackle the next generation of massive, technologically advanced luxury cruise ships soon. We look forward to pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the highly demanding world of heavy industrial ship breaking. The recovered hydraulic pistons stand in the warehouse, gleaming under bright lights, ready to power a completely different machine tomorrow. The pristine glass panels rest safely in their crates, reflecting the warehouse lights, completely untouched by the violent destruction happening outside. This perfect preservation of valuable assets is exactly what separates professional demolition experts from reckless, uncoordinated scrap metal scavenging operations today. We respect the incredible engineering that went into building these massive vessels, even as we systematically tear them apart for scrap. The spectrum of the seas was a marvel of modern maritime architecture, and its final dismantling is an equally impressive feat. Our team has proven once again that precision and patience yield the highest rewards in the dangerous business of heavy demolition. The hundreds of thousands of dollars saved today will fund better equipment and safer working conditions for our entire dedicated crew. We will continue to refine our extraction methods, always looking for new ways to salvage valuable technology from these doomed giants. The legacy of the North Star will live on in the machines and buildings that utilize its recycled and refurbished components. It is the ultimate form of industrial recycling, transforming obsolete luxury attractions into functional, vital components for future global engineering projects. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of surgical precision and brute force destruction at the heavy marine shipyard. We hope you enjoyed witnessing the meticulous recovery of the spectacular North Star observation capsule and its massive industrial hydraulic pistons. Stay tuned for our next episode where we will tackle an even more challenging and dangerous heavy industrial demolition project together. This has been another successful operation brought to you by Demolition Worker. Stay safe, keep building,